first person here is curious. What makes workouts hardest for you? Okay, well, this is a good topic because there's a lot of different things that can make workouts harder. This person mentions energy. By far, yeah, I would say for myself personally, having no energy is one of the highest probability or things that can happen that make me not want to work out. Another big facet or barrier is time. So people not perceiving that they have enough time to fit in a workout, even though, as we know, even just a few minutes, such as 5 to 10 minutes of a workout, even just a 5 minute walk can reset your body and give you a good mental boost that you didn't have beforehand. I'm assuming, and this has happened for me too, not eating enough, not having enough fuel in your body to feel like you want to go and work out. This would kind of go along with the line of energy, but yeah, it's maybe a little different because there's times where I've had enough to eat, but I still haven't had enough energy. Also, a big part of this too is just general stress from daily life. So maybe you're stressed out from work, maybe you're stressed out from a relationship, and you're literally like, the last thing I can think about is hitting a workout right now. And that's totally okay and totally fair. You don't want to force yourself to do things like that because it's going to not lead to the best workout. But I will say you shouldn't have a perfection mindset here. And even when you are stressed out, if you can hit a workout to some degree, that's going to be awesome for you. Myself personally, the energy is a big part of it. I can usually fit in a certain amount of time to work out in the day, but the energy is by far the biggest one. And I will say I have this kind of perfection mindset too, where sometimes when I want to hit a certain workout and I know I can't, I will almost feel like I just shouldn't work out altogether, even if I can do a really small bit of workout. And that's just a mental barrier that some people, when they're in fitness a while actually come to. They get this perfection mindset that they have to hit a certain workout in a certain way. So that's sometimes a hard part for me too. Not super hard, but oh, this is a good one. You want to piss off some gym bros? Let's see here. So this person is using gym equipment, and it's from people who they can clearly tell are there, but they left. So I had a situation today that left me confused. Saw the pec fly machine open. Nobody was using it. Went over to start my set. Noticed someone's phone and keys next to the machine. Person wasn't there in sight. I figured, blah, blah, blah. A minute later, he comes back and says, "Bro, I'm on this." So I'm wondering, is it bad etiquette on my part? No, not at all. And here's the thing. I personally am somebody who tries to bounce around different machines at the gym. I usually don't stay on fitness equipment for a long period of time. And because of that, sometimes I'm cycling between 2 to 3 pieces of equipment. And when that happens, sometimes people just take it. And it's not because they're bad people. It's because I'm not there. And, you know, if I am there, it is probably something I should be doing. I will say what I have done before, though, is I've supersetted different exercises. So sometimes I'll be on a machine and then I'll bring some dumbbells. So then once I finish the machine exercise, I'll do a dumbbell exercise as a superset. Not rest at all, just go right into it. And I have had people scoff at me for doing that. And in my opinion, I don't think this is necessarily the best approach, or I don't think it's really fair for them to be doing that, because most of the time people just sit on equipment, scroll on their phone, and they don't do anything. So I'm at least taking the time to do a superset right next to it, and then I usually hop on right back onto it. So instead of resting, I'm actually doing another exercise instead of doing it. And that's not something you can explicitly say to people and explain to them, but it is something if you're thinking about doing it for yourself. But this person left. Maybe they were using the restroom, and in that case it'd probably be good to let him. But the way he described this, or she described this, said, bro, I'm on this, like, that's telling me that this person went and, maybe did another machine, another exercise, or just went and, like, I don't know, just texted in the corner by themselves. And in that case, you shouldn't feel bad about it at all. I mean, this this happens all the time. People want the luxury of having their own gym when they're in public, and that's just not the case. So don't feel bad about this. Working all upper body groups in a workout. So upper body, there's a lot there. Hit chest and biceps on a trip to the gym. A proper noob, some may say. Well, you know how to hit chest and biceps, so you're getting there. However, my abs, shoulders, and back especially are totally neglected. Are there easy exercises for back and abs I could be doing? 5'6", bit useless with free weight, so I stick to the machines. Sometimes plank / press up. I'm not sure if they're talking about a push up. That's got to be what they're talking about. So, yeah, it's really hard. So what you could do if you don't like machines very much is you do like machines, you don't like free weights. There's this machine called a lat pull down machine, which has a bar that's just hanging up above, and all you do is grab it and then pull the bar to your chest, and that's going to work your back and biceps tremendously. Also, there's a row machine or a cable row machine where basically you grab the handles in front of you and your arms are straight out, and then you're pulling that row that handle to your chest. And both of those, anytime you are taking something and pulling it closer to your body, you're going to be working your abdominals. So even if you grab a dumbbell off the ground and just literally dangle it in front of you with your back bent over at about a 45 to 90 degree angle, pick in between there, and pull that dumbbell to your chest, you're going to be doing a dumbbell row. Super simple exercise. That's a free weight one. That's one you could start doing today. Very simple. So we got biceps, we got back, doing push-ups, great exercise. You can also do some of those machine presses too. So you get on a machine and you push the machine or push the handles and weight out in front of you, or you push them up and above. Both of those are going to work your shoulders pretty easily. And you can always ask a trainer or somebody at the gym super quickly, hey, I'm just trying to hit my shoulders. Or honestly, there's probably people at the gym that are doing these types of workouts, so you can just literally say, hey, I'm new to the gym. Can you show me how to use this machine? If you see them doing a shoulder press or chest press. When it comes to core, don't really overthink this. Sit-ups are okay. Planks are okay. Leg lifts, so laying down on your back and then lifting your legs up to the sky as high as you can, slowly lowering them back down. You can grab on a pull-up bar and lift your legs up to your lift your knees up to your belly button, or try to. That's going to work your core as well. Don't forget the back of your core though too, so you need to work your lower back, things like deadlifts. I guess you said you didn't really like doing deadlifts that much. So back extension machine, where basically you're leaning forward and then you kind of sit back or lean back with your back, and you're basically arching into the weight, and that's going to work your lower back. And then of course your obliques a little bit too. So you can do some side bends, grab a dumbbell in either side, your right or left hand, and then simply bend over to your right, bend over to your left, back and forth, and you're going to be able to work all of your core. So that's, I would say that's the easiest way. Honestly, like, you would be, if you went on the machines, all the machines in your gym that you knew were to hit your upper body, there's a 99% probability that you're going to be able to hit all the machines or all the muscles that you want to, simply because a lot of the machines that they buy in the gym are designed to hit all your body parts. So if push comes to shove, if all else fails, simply just go in, find all the upper body machines and just do them, period. And you'll probably hit all the things. So no big deal. Oh, the gym. It doesn't feel natural for this person. They're feeling like they are just intimidated. So first started, the weight floor was super intimidating. Felt like everyone was staring at me. A lot of people feel like that way when they first start out. Lately, it's gotten better. Found a site that gives me structured workouts. Great. YouTube's another great resource for finding all types of things to get you more confident. How long did it wait for you to actually feel confident and at your best in the gym? It's just a matter of showing up enough times until it clicks. All right, so when I was in high school, I was actually in football, and that's when I first started lifting, and everyone else was stronger than me. Everyone else looked better than me. Like, I was a naturally pudgy kid, so I didn't have a really good looking physique. I was pretty weak in the grand scheme of things. I had decent leg strength. I could run kind of fast, but other than that, like, I was a lost cause. And when I went to the gym, I hated working out. I genuinely hated working out. I hated the idea of going to team lifts where everyone had to see me work out, because those workouts, you very much so are just in with your team. So it is all about working in that sense. When it comes to how long it felt from that standpoint for me to feel natural, honestly, until I started working out on my own, that persisted. So it was probably about 2 years, but I wasn't saying it's because I did anything different. It was because I started just doing workouts that I wanted to do for myself, and that made me feel confident, and really just when people weren't around me and I knew people weren't staring at me. When you go to a public gym, nobody genuinely cares about you. Like, literally nobody cares. Nobody's looking at you. They may glance at you, but that doesn't mean that they're like staring at you. You're just a human being, part of the world, and it's natural to look at your surroundings and look at people. So don't feel too scared about that. It will just come with time, and it will become, not because you because people stop glancing at you. It's because you'll start becoming confident enough in the gym to where you trust your own abilities and trust that whatever you're doing in the gym is actually the right thing to do, and you don't need to feel self-conscious about it. So that can take months, that can take years. People who are naturally athletic will probably gain this a little bit quicker. But this is why it's important to bring in people like a gym buddy that can help you out through this process, or consulting videos like you're doing online. There's so many good resources. Type in free exercises online or into YouTube. Type in beginner workouts. There's so many different things for free now that you don't have to spend any money, and you can learn a good amount about the gym very, very fast. But the gym will feel natural, and for me, I will say I'm at to a point where I literally don't feel like the gym is separate from my life. Like, it feels strange. It feels really, really weird if I can't get at least 15 to 20 minutes in at the gym, at least every other day, or right now it's about daily. But if I don't get that in, it feels more unnatural than natural. And that's just with time. I've been working out for over 10 years at this point. So proud of myself for going to the gym. Boom. If you just went to the gym today and you don't normally go to the gym, you should be proud of yourself too. Just want to talk about the first steps. I got change. I went to the gym, spent the whole time on the treadmill, but I did it. For someone who has a huge amount of anxiety about this, I just want to tell anyone, that I bloody did it. All right, this is actually a wonderful thing, because it's something that I tell people who are scared to go to the gym all the time. Anything is great. What you're trying to do is not necessarily make yourself the healthiest version of yourself today. You're trying to build confidence so you don't feel anxious about the gym. When you don't feel anxious about the gym, that's when you're actually going to be excited to go work out, and you're going to want to go and do these things and actually spend the time to meal prep, or to go out for a walk in your free time, or listen to some health podcasts to gain some extra tips. That all comes with confidence and you building a little bit of self-autonomy in the fact that you did this and you feel good about it. So this person, all they did, they went to the treadmill, and it doesn't say how long they spent there. I would guess they probably spent 20, 30 minutes, maybe less than that. Who knows? It doesn't matter though. But they got changed. They went to the gym, two big things that are a big barrier for people, and they went to the treadmill. Boom, they got it done. And look how much inner strength this person just cultivated from being able to do that. Just a profound amount of inner strength and self-acceptance that will go huge into building confidence for their next workout and their next workout and their next workout. But it started today. They just bloody did it, and you can too. It's literally as simple as that. Trying to get fit again with one-on-one Tony Horton. Who's Tony Horton? This ought to be good. Not Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk is doing one-on-one skateboarding workouts. Just kidding. I try. Sometimes I land funny jokes. Most of the time not. Got fit fit a few years ago with Tony Horton's P90X. Oh, God. P90X. P90X is a very hard workout program. Just looked at the website, and it used to be Beachbody. Prices are horrendous. How do you do it? Okay, so they wanna do it again, but they're just not finding. So you can get fit in a lot of different ways, and the way they do this is with really intense, hard interval training style workouts. So if you're trying to do really hard interval training style workouts, there's a bunch, of free resources online. If you type in free interval training workout into YouTube or advanced interval training workout, this is probably similar to what you'd get with a one-on-one Tony Horton. Again, I've only seen a little bit of clips of the P90X. I just know it's very high intensity circuit training type training, which you can find with just exactly that search term. Type in high intensity circuit training or high intensity interval training, HIIT. Some people call it HIIT. And you're going to find something exactly like that. Don't spend your money on it. Yes, these programs are very expensive now, mainly because there's not a lot of people buying them because there's so many good free resources online. And there's a lot of people who just know how to work out now. And it's like you always know somebody. So fitness is becoming decentralized? No. The ability to get high quality fitness information and to know how to stay fit and healthy is becoming more accessible to anyone despite how much money they have, which is great. Does anyone notice how working out and going to the gym has completely changed the types of food you regularly consume? Sitting here eating what I call a slot bowl that consists of cottage cheese, tuna, black beans, corned peas, V8 egg white, sauerkraut, shredded cheese, lettuce, and sriracha. 50 grams of protein, 9 grams of fiber, 450 calories. Looks like vomit, but tastes so good. Dude, this is literally describing how I make all of my stuff. Slot bowl, that's so great. Yeah, I'm actually currently eating something that I just meal prep for the week. It's literally beans with cabbage with lentils and potatoes, all just kind of steamed up together, and it looks like honestly nothing. It looks really bland. It looks not flavorful, but it's got a good amount of protein, lots of fiber, pretty decent on the calories, and it is filling me up, and it's dirt cheap. That's another thing. Like a lot of healthy eating stuff like this person makes, and like what I just described, it's actually pretty cheap. And you will notice this, that if you start to give yourself a little leeway on just eating these types of foods, you will start to notice your palate changes where you kind of start craving these very simple, healthy whole food options. And that's because your body is just recognizing, oh my gosh, this makes me feel so much better. It makes me have more frequent bowel movements, and it just makes me train better and feel better in life. So yeah, this person's noticing that they're not wanting junk food as much. They're still enjoying it in moderation, but they don't have as many cravings. And this literally happens when you start to change your palate. It's crazy. A lot of people ask how to get over cravings. It really is just not eating those foods, and you'll be shocked at how quickly your palate can change. It happens very, very fast. I just stayed at an off-grid eco-village where we didn't really have any sweets, and it was only really healthy food. And within 2 to 3 days, I have a very big sweet tooth, and I drank a diet soda every single day. In 2 to 3 days, I did not crave any soda. I completely forgot about it. I did not crave desserts. I still had some again time to time like this person, but very, very fast, my palate changed. And this can happen to you too. You're not any different from everyone. It just takes a little conscious effort at the beginning, but it seems like a hurdle, but it really is on the other side of it. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like you don't even think about it. It's like your brain doesn't even register Pop-Tarts as an option. Gym buddy, yay or nay? Went to the gym for the first time, considering ask a friend. It really depends what you want a gym buddy for. If you want them for extra encouragement, they're a great option. If you want them to show you the ropes, it's a great option. If you just want to hang out with your friend, it's a great option. But if you don't, and if you like the gym as kind of personal downtime, I personally like the gym because I can do whatever I want. I like it because it can be my own flow time where I have lots of downtime to just go at my own pace, do certain exercises I want. I like it for that reason. It's a good quiet time that is just for me. But some people really like going with their friends and having it more of a social time. And if you're somebody on that, or you just want to learn some things, Gym Buddy is a great way to go. It really depends on your preferences. Those are the two main factors that I would consider when you're going to the gym. Or you might just be a little intimidated too. I guess that could be another thing. If you're just scared to go to the gym, maybe you know how to do stuff, but you're just kind of intimidated, a Gym Buddy can give you a little bit of extra confidence. But other than that, if you're somebody who just wants autonomy and just to work out on your own, Gym Buddy is not really going to provide anything magical. I've done both. I personally don't like going with the Gym Buddy now just because I like doing my own thing. This person spent 8 years trying to lose the same 30 pounds. Oh, it clicked for him. The messy journey. 22 years old, 195 pounds. Now he's 30, maintaining 165 for the past year. Feel like I figured this out. So wasted 3 years on extreme diets, keto, intermittent fasting, juice cleanses, weird cabbage soup thing. Rinse and repeat. The only thing that stuck was learning how to eat a normal human being with portion control. And MyFitnessPal. Okay, this is great. So what they're talking about is that they didn't really stick to any specific diet, and they did mention more, but it cut off here. And they used portion control and MyFitnessPal, which is basically a calorie counting app, to tell themselves, okay, this is how much I should be eating today. This is how much one portion of food is, and this is how much a portion of another food is. And when you know the calorie content in foods, when you know how much is a portion of food and how much is too much, how much is too little, you can very quickly monitor the overall calories you're eating, and it will literally change everything for you when it comes to your diet and lifestyle. So literally what they said was eating like a normal human being with portion control. So having one scoop less of, I don't know, casserole, or having, instead of 3 pieces of pizza, only having 1 or 2 pieces of pizza, or having a piece of pizza with some vegetables on the side. Very small things, but managing your overall portions, which will manage your overall calories. MyFitnessPal is a great place to start. If you haven't downloaded that app, please do. I wouldn't say go super militant about it, but go about your normal day, see your normal portions, eat normally for like a week, and then just see, based off the app, it'll tell you roughly how many calories you should eat and how many calories you were eating. And from there, you can kind of make some adjustments and make some changes. And really, the portion control thing is so easy because it's something you can do with any meal. You can have the amount of portions of any meal. If you eat a bunch of chicken for dinner, cut it in half from what you normally eat. Cut it in a third from what you normally eat. If you have a giant glass of soda with every meal, cut it in half. It's literally just cutting the portions. You're still having the item in food, so you're not cutting it out completely, but you're cutting it in half, cutting the calories in half, which will lead you to less portions, which will lead you to less calories, and will lead you to losing a little bit of fat, which is the name of the game. So yeah, 8 years of trying, and what clicked for him is what works for everyone. When you started walking 10 steps a day, did you notice a difference? So this is interesting because walking is a really great tool to lose fat, but I feel like a lot of people struggle with this, and it's just walking. So how much is it really going to make a difference? Know that goes difference with walking, 10K steps a day. Wondering from everyone's experience how much of a difference it made to their fitness. My goal is to lose fat and put on muscle, barely do any cardio. Yeah, so if you go from not doing any steps a day to walking 10,000 steps a day, let's just say you're at like 2,000 to 3,000 to go to 10,000. you're going to add a good amount of physical activity and you're going to be burning a lot more calories than you think. I can't remember the exact math, but I have it measured out in myself, a tentative measurement where if you're walking at 3 miles an hour, which is a little bit above the average pace for walking, for 10 minutes, you are going to walk about 1,000 steps. So if you think about walking 10 minutes at a 3 mile an hour pace, that's not a crazy amount of calories, but you're still burning some. And then think about 10,000 steps. So in our original example, you were walking 2 to 3,000 steps, going on to 10,000 steps. That is then technically 8 to 7,000 more steps a day, which means you are walking 80 to 70 more minutes a day. And that's a significant amount of mileage that you're putting onto your body and adding to the calorie burn. So this will make an absolute huge difference, but it really depends on where you're starting from. If you're already walking 9,000 steps a day and you're adding 1,000 steps, it's not really going to add too much of a difference. Yes, it's still worthwhile to go for a little bit more, but also remember 10,000 steps isn't a magical number. There's not something that, super profound happens at 10,000 steps. It's just kind of a nice whole round, cool thing to shoot for. Any increase in your steps from where you are at will help you to burn a little bit more calories and burn a little bit more fat. Simple as that. So don't overthink it. Wherever you're at right now, try to add 2,000 to 3,000 steps in this next week, and then try to level that out to make it easy in your life, and then add a little bit more if you'd like. Or if you're at a spot where you're okay and you're maintaining your weight, then just stay there. This person is a tall beginner. They can't feel their back on machines. How do you actually hit lats? All right, so biceps and chest are coming along. I can do lat pull down, cedar rows all day. Feel it mainly in my forearms and biceps. So this is basically where we need to go and look at the biomechanics of what your lats or your big back muscles do. And one of the main things that they do is they help to bring your posterior deltoid down, they help to bring your arm from up overhead or in front of you back down to your side. So if you think about I'm going to show you here, a rowing motion. Right now my arm is in front of me, and then I'm pulling my arm, as in the portion of the shoulder joint, so then it comes back. Overhead, same thing, I'm coming down and I'm coming all the way back to me. So your lats, basically it is designed to bring your arm from up overhead down to your side, or from your arm in front of you down to your side as well. So both of them, they're bringing your arm kind of down back in that position. So when you think about hitting lats on any machine, you need to be consciously thinking, I need to do this movement. So if you're doing a lat pull down and you have both of your arms up overhead, you literally need to say to yourself, okay, I'm going to imagine pulling my arms down. So I'm pulling my arms down and in front of me, bringing that bar to my chest. And in doing that, you will put more conscious attention on your lats. Same exact thing for the lat or the rowing machine or a row. So you have your hands grabbing onto the object in front of you, and you are imagining almost pulling that rope or that cable attachment to your chest. So you're not necessarily using your arms. Try to think about not bending your arms as much, but more of bending your arms while bringing your arms down to your sides again, okay? Another way you can use your lats a little more is by consciously pinching your shoulder blades when you are coming back. So pushing your chest out and pinching your shoulder blades, that will tell you that you have reached a full range of motion for your back when doing any back exercise. So hopefully this helps a little bit. It's really about looking where what the lats actually do, and that's bringing your arm from up overhead or in front of you back down to your side. That's going to be the main thing that it does. All right. Treated fitness journey like a level 1 RPG character. Gotta admit something to you all. Working out was an enemy. I spent my 20s leveling up characters in MMOs, grinding for hours. So 11 lap IRL. So walking up 2 flights of stairs would leave me wiped out, breathing like an 80-year-old asthmatic. Tried the classic stuff, 30-day workout programs, blah, blah, blah. Then one day, staring at my reflection in a loading screen, something dumb just clicked. What if I treated myself like one of my characters? So this is actually a really fun way that I think would be going to the gym. Yeah, you can literally be like, okay, day one, I know nothing. I am like going day one in, they'll just say Minecraft. I have no resources, no knowledge of what's going on. I have no idea of the surroundings. But what do? You go and explore. You go and gather resources. You go and gather knowledge of the land. You're doing the same thing if you go to the gym. Day one, you don't know anything. You don't have many resources. You don't know what to do. But you go to the gym, you look around and act like somebody who's trying to kind of survive in a sense. And just like this, yeah, treating your fitness journey like a role player. And think about this. It will literally level up so quickly. Like, this is not something you need to spend so much time on in a week, in a month, in a year. And a year's not that long of time when it comes to the grand scheme of things in fitness. You will be so far beyond a level 1 noob. And just by going in and building some confidence and trying out some machines or trying out a fitness class, you will really start enjoying it. And I think coming at this from a level just like this person did of curiosity of, ooh, what's out there next? Ooh, what else can I try? Ooh, how can I try this in a different way? That's going to go night and day, for sure. All right. So this person is lifting, but they want to know what the best time for lifting is. Trying to stick to a lifting routine, 20 to 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, switching between upper and lower. At the moment, I do the first thing in the morning. But it's mentally tough doing this at 6 a.m. with nothing but a glass of water fueling me. Okay, so best time of day for lifting. So they're touching on a couple things here. One, lifting in the morning without eating anything. And two, just generally the best time of day. So for starters, the best time of day for lifting is naturally going to be when you have the best amount of energy for the day and when you can actually do it. There's some people who lift really good at night, some people who lift really good in the morning, but because of work or other obligations, they're not able to work at any of those times. So if that's the case, you got to just go when the best time is for you and when you can fit it in. It's as simple as that. But if you're able to, and especially on the weekends, if you don't work or something, really try to hit it into your optimal lifting time of whatever feels the best for you. And this may take some trial and error. You may need to try a little bit of morning versus night workouts to see what works best for you. But all in all, that's going to be the best advice. When it comes to eating first thing in the morning, because this person says they only have a glass of water fueling them for their 6 a.m. workout, yes, this is a tricky thing. You do not need to eat a whole lot of food to give you just a little bit of fuel if you are feeling kind of lacking on energy. Even a banana in a granola bar or a banana in a bagel, something really light, you'll be shocked at how much just a little bit of carbohydrates can do to fuel your workout and just kind of wake you up a little more. Don't be super scared to intake some caffeine too right before your workout if you're lifting in the morning. Again, we're trying to make this sustainable for you, and if you're dragging through your workout and you can't do anything, well, guess what? You're not going to be able to do the workout, period, and you're really just trying to, as this person said, do 20, 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. That's really going to be the name of the game, so don't stress out about it that much. And yeah, if you need to eat something small, do it. There's nothing bad that's going to happen if you don't. If you want to try out the intermittent fasting routine, that's great, but it's not going to provide any special magical benefits. And as you said here, it's mentally and physically tough doing this at 6 a.m. Before family are up and whatever. Make it the easiest you can for yourself. Listen to some good music, have your workout equipment or have your gym workout attire already set out, have the glass of water already there, have the food already there. Have a cup of coffee ready, like have all these things there so it can make it a little bit less of a friction point, because working out in the early morning is hard. Even if you do like it, there's going to be days where you wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, this is not happening. So don't beat yourself up, and just keep that in mind. Yeah, anytime's best. Was this proper gym etiquette, or was I just being a bitch? All right, here we go. Anytime girls are getting involved in the gym, this is always a good time. So I know that y'all will say I was being a biatch, but at my university gym, I was in our freeweight area on the turf setting up to do Bulgarians. I noticed a guy staring at me, making eye contact with me a lot, but I tried to ignore it and tune it out because I was getting uncomfortable. Once I finished, said he came up to me and basically became a fitness coach. He said with the Bulgarians, if I wanted to see glute growth, I needed to stand straight instead of slightly bending. Once he told me that, I kind of turned him out because standing straight up is quad focused, but I let him talk. Um, all right, so first things first, let's talk about just the biomechanics of this. So, if you are standing straight up, I can't see that doing I can't. If you're doing glute, or excuse me, you're doing Bulgarians of any time, bending over really wouldn't do anything. You're basically holding an isometric hinge position, which when you're talking about doing glute bridges, you're not really hinging in a traditional sense. Um, I feel like the hinge would just not really add much to it at all. Potentially like a little isometric work in the glute that's not moving, but I don't think you can really separate Bulgarians from glute to quad very much. And quite frankly, I don't really know why you would. They both hit the quads and glutes pretty equally from my understanding. And when I do these normally, like standing straight up, I hit and feel them both in the same area pretty much the whole time. But that's not the whole thing this was about. Let's talk about this person. Um, uh, so it doesn't say how this ended, but I'm guessing that this person told them that they didn't need help, and because she said she was being a biatch. And if that's the case, like 100%, like girls are in this realm where they're always surrounded by guys who think they know better, and especially guys, especially if this girl was attractive at all, and this guy was like probably trying to like look at her and like maybe try to help her out, but also at the same time maybe try to like flex and like get her number in a sense, or just like show like, hey, I'm a fitness guy, and I like fitness girls. Like that very well could have been this too. So whatever she said, I doubt it was being a biatch. And like, to be completely real, you need to stand up for yourself in these situations, because the gym should be a time where you are not becoming uncomfortable. This is exactly why beginners don't like coming to the gym, is people like this. Sometimes people just want to go out and explore their body and work out in a certain way. And who is it that this person would know exactly what you want to do? How would they know you want to see glute growth? Even if you told them, like, it's still just it's your body, and you're exploring how your body works and trying out different things. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is with people. When you do any sort of strength exercise, how did you know you did it all you could? Like, what should your last rep be like? I should say, actually, most of your reps should not be doing it all that you could. They should not be going full blown all out. It should be about a 6, 7, sometimes 8 out of 10 on a scale of difficulty. Excuse me. You should not always be pushing yourself, because what this does is you're basically giving your body too much of a stimulus that it can recover from. So if you're going too hard all the time, you're not fighting in line with that whole recovery adaptation model of training. When you go work out, your recovery is where the gains are actually made. So you do a little bit of work on your body, and then it actually goes down in strength. And then when you recover, that's when you get a little bit stronger. So the next time it's a little bit easier. But if you're constantly going to the brim of what you can recover from, your body is going to be shot way lower down into how much stimulus has been put on it. And when that happens, it's going to take a lot more time to recover, likely more than what you're doing. Now, if you're a beginner, you can go pretty hard from the first 2 to 3 months of training. But after that, when you become more intermediate, you're going to need to take more breaks. You're going to need to auto-regulate your timing, and you can't just go to full-blown failure during all your workouts. So, the way I do it now, because I'm kind of in a maintenance phase, and even when I wasn't, I would literally do, it's called reps in reserve. I would do 4 to 3 reps in reserve. So I would go and work out, and you have to train a little bit of time before you can feel out reps in reserve, but I would do as many as I could. And then once I got to a point where I'm like, I think I have about 4 reps until I hit my maximum, or what I feel like my maximum would be, that's when I cut it off. And that's usually a good rule of thumb, is to try to get 4 to 3 reps in reserve. If you're a beginner, you can float up to 2 to 1 reps in reserve, or if you want to, just someday, just go until it feels enough. Like literally just listen to your body and then be like, okay, I feel a little bit there, I'm going to stop. Another rule of thumb that I go to when I'm going into like kind of just feel it out, or just get in a okay workout, I'm not trying to maximize anything, I'm just trying to get a little bit of stimulation, is I'll do it until I feel a light burn in my body, or I feel like I'm starting to get out of breath. So doing a weight exercise where you start to feel a little bit of burn in the subsequent muscle, at that point I would do maybe one more and then stop. Or if I'm doing the same exercise, I would keep going until I start to feel my heart rate and my breathing start to pick up. I would do maybe a couple more repetitions and then stop. These are a couple great relative measures that you can do in the middle of your gym that work actually pretty darn well to tell how hard you're training. A conversation test too, if you're having a light conversation with somebody, or if you're able to hold a light conversation with somebody, but you're still kind of breathing a little bit hard, that would be kind of a good level to know that, hey, this is a level that's a little bit hard, a good level for stimulus, and not too easy, but not too hard. Just being able to hold a light conversation with intermittent breaths in between. Has anyone's dedication to fitness affected their social life? Raise your hand. Join the club. Oh, if you haven't had your dedication to fitness affect your social life, then God bless you. You're amazing. Seriously lifting for 6 months now. In that time, quit drinking, quit smoking, just put all my focus on the gym. Not a bad transition. It's been good for me physically, but I realized that lifting is my whole life now. Most of my friends still go out to drink or party, and since I don't do that anymore, I don't really hang with them. On top of that, after I get from the gym, I usually don't feel like doing anything else anyway. Do you find a balance with new friends who are in the same lifestyle? Dude, this really depends on if you want to keep the same friends or not. So if you still like your friends, and even if they don't lift and, drink or smoke, if you don't do all those things and they still do you like them enough as people, and can you not judge them in being friends with them? And also, like, do they not bring you down in a bad influence? If it's no to either of those questions, then absolutely, just still try to be friends with them. Maybe buffer your gym time a little more. You're already realizing that it's affecting you socially. So this is something where you're going to have to take an honest assessment of okay, do I want to just not do as much gym time? And then because of that, I'm going to have a little more social time. It's all really a balance, and it's all how much you want to put your buckets of life into. You can put all your buckets of life into working out, but then you don't have any more to fill the bucket of social life. So I think you're realizing that physical isn't everything, and that you need to still take care of your mental health, and that comes with taking a little bit from the physical health aspect of this. Also, too, there is a very small amount of work you actually need to do to get fitness results. It's not nearly as much as you think. So don't feel like you're going to lose all your progress, or it's going to be going downhill from there. And no, you're still going to be fairly fit. You're still going to notice results. It may not be the maximum, but that's okay. Lastly, too, just ask yourself if you want to be in a time where maybe you don't have a whole lot of interaction with friends. Maybe you do need time by yourself to reprioritize your life and see if new things come in. See if you want new friends. See if you have a different hobbies or things that become interested. I mean, these are all things that you can explore in the time that you're at, and I highly recommend and think that you totally should. Absolutely, absolutely. So, yeah, I've been here. I've been here where I have done really long workout bouts where I just got to a point where it was affecting my ability to be nice to people because I was always focused on my workout. I would always be focused, whatever activity I was doing, I would always be thinking about what I was going to do on that workout today. Very not in the present moment. I was just consumed in it, and I just cared way too much about the gym, even though for the most part I was just going to the gym to be healthier. Nothing crazy, but I kind of let it bleed into my social life too, and it affected me mentally. I became very obsessive where I felt like I couldn't do any type of workout that I wanted to, and I just had to literally do a specific type of workout at a specific time, at a specific intensity, and if I didn't, I was somehow less than a person. Curious, what was the point you decided to make a change? Okay, I feel like everyone's got this. I've been trying to find the motivation to finally get serious about my fitness journey. I've been documenting eating habits. I do a lot of walking. Just wondering what was the point where you all decided enough was enough and finally got your SHIT together. So usually what happens for people is they actually just get to a point of like no return where they get a health diagnosis or they look at themselves in the mirror or they have a breakup with somebody or they start to notice they just have no energy and can't do anything. That's usually when it is for people. Like a certain circumstance in their life gets them to a point in doing that. And those are a few of the different things. For myself personally, I will say I looked at my family, looked at my lifestyle, and recognized that my family was very unhealthy and overweight. A lot of them were. And because of this, I knew that like the chances of me becoming overweight and unhealthy, if I didn't take some conscious effort into doing it, would likely bleed into my life. So I had to make the conscious choice to start eating a little bit healthier, start being a little bit more healthy and mindful about my habits. And because of this, that's when I just decided for myself. I didn't want to be somebody who was very overweight and unhealthy like the rest of my family. And it was literally that. I looked at some people making, from my perspective, what wasn't the best decision with their life and turned it into something that felt like it was a slightly better decision in my life. And that's as simple as it was. It was a family decision and that kind of made me want to just change for myself. So it's different for everyone, but really I would look at just look at other people who are living a life where they're going through struggles from a weight loss standpoint. Like go look at forums of people who are dealing with excess adipose tissue or dealing with obesity, or look at people who struggle with mental health stuff and like people who didn't take fitness as a priority. Like you can see what happens when you don't do it, and that very well could easily be you too if you don't make a conscious effort to try to do it. So does anyone enjoy exercise? I do. Just a little bit. I'm a little biased, so I know I know people will say it doesn't matter if you enjoy exercise or not because it's health and you should be doing it regardless. That is not true at all. There is exercise that you can do that will be fun and enjoyable for you. I promise that. This person just feels so miserable, though. They feel nauseous immediately after. They feel exhausted, generally feel sick, head and chest hurt, can't do anything. Even going on walks, though, they said makes them feel much better or give me mental health boost, everyone talking about. Oh, going on walks doesn't make them feel better. Wow, this is interesting. So, yeah, I still subscribed in the notion that there's got to be something that works for you. Maybe it's just going in and stretching. Maybe it's doing a recumbent bicycle. Maybe it's doing walks just a little slower or not as fast. Maybe it's doing very light swimming or light stretching or really light weight training. This person, it seems like they have a very low level of stimulus that it takes to get them kind of over and above on a too much fitness level. Like they can't recover very well from much fitness. So it's going to take you going into Google or talking to a personal trainer and saying, hey, I need some very light forms of physical activity because I feel sick during everything. I think this is a big part of this person is they just feel sick. And because they feel sick, they can't get that mental health boost. So, balance exercises are another great one, like Qigong or like, there's balance routines that seniors do. Even if you're not a senior, I do balance exercises too. They're very low impact, very easy on the body. And, those don't feel like you're barely moving at all, but they work a good aspect of fitness, namely being balanced. But especially with the walks too, this is a good point that like you don't need to be going at a certain intensity when you're first starting. Going out and doing any type of walking at any intensity for any simple time, that's going to be your best bet. So like don't make this one big thing where it has to look like a certain way. Just do a few things that seem right for you. Some stretching, some really light weights if you have a gym. Walk very slowly around the block. Do some balance drills, etc. Then and work from there, and you'll feel different things you like, different things you don't like, and just keep changing and being okay to change. Because even myself, I've been working out for over 10 years now. I change a lot and I like to change things up, and I'm always learning new things that I like about fitness and things that maybe I've outgrown a little bit. And that's part of the game. It's not one size fits all forever. That's for sure. All right, this person's got 4 days a week to work out, and they're wondering what their split should look like. Workplace as a gym, and since I work from home at least 1 day a week, sometimes it's Wednesdays, and the other week is Thursdays. Goal is V-taper. Would be able to chest back, shoulders, arms for 4 days with cardio at the end. Legs are less of my aim. I just want to know if I can rest my chest back in the counterpart for 24 hours. Okay. So this is an interesting split because they're working chest and back, which I feel like is sort of okay, but I would rather prioritize it in working like chest. Yeah, I guess this isn't too bad. So chest and back are just very big muscle groups, and shoulders and arms are kind of smaller muscle groups. So I would think about maybe doing like chest and shoulders and then back and arms, and then just doing those every other day. So doing chest back and then shoulders and arms and then chest back and shoulders and arms over your entire week. They don't want to do legs. I would say you should still maybe consider trying to add legs into this mix. And if I were adding legs, I would do it twice a week. So I would actually make it maybe like a chest, back, and shoulder workout, and then do arms, just some arm accessories like curls and tricep extensions with some legs, just to get your really well-rounded physique. Because with a V taper, it's really going to be a large part how lean you are. So you need to be losing a good amount of body fat and getting to a low body fat, and having lots of leg muscle mass will help you to get to that point a lot easier. So I wouldn't completely forego doing that, but if you're not going to do legs, just do chest, back, shoulders, arms, chest, back, shoulders, and arms. And add in some core stuff as well. So stuff for your obliques, working your obliques, and working the front of your core. So doing leg lifts, doing some planks, doing some sit-ups. I would also work your rotational muscles too in your core a little bit if you're feeling it. But gosh, I'm trying to think of where you would add core. I would maybe just add like one core exercise at the end of each day, just to hit your core a little bit too. And that's pretty much it, really. The V taper, a large part of it is You want to work your core a little bit, but you don't want to overdo it because hypertrophy wise, if you get your core too big, it's going to look more like a blocky build for you and not going to taper as much. So I wouldn't say it's really like a good thing. Like I don't think it's necessarily healthy to have like less core strength and less muscle around your core and more around your upper body because your spine's not getting a lot of muscle. But again, we're not talking about this. This person just wants to look good. Whatever. That's what they could do. And remember too that a V taper, a large part of that actually is genetic too. So like people who have a really good V taper, these people may look good working out and may have not done anything to get to that point. And even just a little bit of workout helps them to look a little bit better. The most effective exercises, finding after a year of working out that I don't get sore anymore, nor am I gaining muscle mass anymore. I don't think. I think I was doing too much at the beginning because I was sore all the time. Not necessarily. When you first start working out, you are just putting a novel stress on your body and a novel stimulus with different exercises. And when you do that, you will naturally get sore just because of that one simple thing. You're doing more stuff and you're also likely progressing a lot quicker. Relatively speaking from when you're at, and anytime you progress and you're putting a new stimulus on your body and muscle, there's a chance that you're going to get sore. You also grow a good amount of the muscle that you will ever grow in your entire life in the first 2 years, and in particular the first year of training. After that first year, especially after the second year, you are going to gain significantly less and less muscle over the subsequent years for the rest of your life, to where when you work out, you may not even notice yourself gaining much muscle at all anymore. That's just simply what it is for people. So, their routine right now is push-pull, bench press, dumbbell press, lateral raises, shoulder press, dumbbell extensions, dumbbell bent over rows, sometimes chest flies, and then legs once a week. All right, so I just don't think they're doing enough. If they're doing all their push and pull exercises on one, this is just a lot of 3 times a week. I would consider if I were you doing, this is tough. I would honestly consider doing the push and pull. I like the exercises you're doing. You probably could pick in between bench press or dumbbell press and lose one of the things. This is actually a really good overall program. Like these are pretty solid exercises. It's pretty well rounded. There's not a lot of core movements, so that's something I would consider adding. But all in all, I think this is really good. I would just try to hit legs one more time a week. And really, if you're eating enough food, if you're in a calorie surplus, and if you are progressing your weights, or at least making them harder, as in maybe doing slower repetitions, doing paused repetitions, doing different tempo, that's really the only thing you can do. And you just need to realize you're at a point where you're going to start gaining less and less muscle even the more you do. That's part of becoming an advanced lifter, is you will be doing more things to try to gain muscle, but you're going to gain less muscle. When you first started, you could get away with doing a lot of different things. You could like literally just drink a beer and gain muscle. I'm just kidding. Not literally that level, but you can basically do anything. A somewhat okay program, just hitting any part of your body, like machines, it doesn't matter what you do. If you're lifting and eating enough, you're going to gain strength and muscle. Oh, wait. Okay, no. Just black. Okay, the way they wrote this question is kind of weird. So it does say they do hip thrust Bulgarian split squats 2 times a week. They do back squats. Okay, so no. This program is amazing. This program is amazing. I take it all back. I think that they're doing well enough. They just are not gaining as much muscle because they're at a point where they're literally not gaining as much physically. You still are. It's just at a very slow rate. All right, alcohol and fitness. Here we go. A lot of people ask whether alcohol impacts fat loss and performance. So I wanted to break down what's actually going on when you drink, blah, blah, blah. When you consume alcohol, your body prioritizes breaking it down over anything else. That's because alcohol is essentially a toxin and it wants to clear it out quickly. While your liver is busy processing alcohol, fat oxidation is reduced. This doesn't mean the beer or wine you drink instantly turns into fat, but it does mean that the fat burning is temporarily put on hold. Okay, so yeah, that is a big thing that comes to how alcohol affects fitness. So you will basically not be burning as much fat as possible. So it's not that alcohol in itself is fattening, but it's stopping the process that is making you not fattening. So if you're in a calorie deficit, but you're drinking alcohol, it's going to turn that fat burning stage off for a little bit. Another big part of alcohol drinking is also what's paired with it. And what's usually paired with it is not best overall lifestyles in general. You're going to feel sluggish. You're going to feel tired. You're probably not going to be eating the best of food with alcohol. You might be eating more fast food or junk food. That's a big part of it. You also might be experimenting with other drugs while you're doing this as well. The hardcore alcohol drinking society, or I should say, community with regular fitness is not really going to jive that well. The other thing with alcohol is that it dehydrates you a lot. So you'll be very tired, likely from being dehydrated and just not having a lot of electrolytes and water in your body. And those are really the big thing when it comes to fitness. And then, of course, your liver over time, if you constantly are drinking to the point where your liver is working literally on overdrive, this is where you get something like fatty liver disease, which can be a fatal chronic disease that is not good. Your liver helps to cleanse lots of different toxins in your body when you're eating and drinking things. So you're basically turning into mush, which is not good. Ooh, this is a great question. The daily gym goer who sits all day, or the non-gym goer who's always moving. This is a really hot topic, and I have a maybe not, I don't know, I feel like I have a good answer. Randomly thinking, two people. Person A goes to the gym consistently 4 to 5 days a week, but outside of that spends most of their day sitting. Person B doesn't go to the gym as much, maybe 1 to 2 days a week, but their job lifestyle keeps them on their feet and moving around most of the day. 100% the person who is moving more consistently through the day, because doing that is going to be so much better for their joints. So if we're talking just joint health and potentials of getting osteoarthritis and just having pain in your body, the person who's getting up is going to feel so much better because they're moving their joints all day. The person who's not is, of course, not. Also, energetically, if you're up and doing and moving all day, the chances of you feeling a lot better, just having more energy, is way more pronounced than if you're sitting at a desk job all day. It's almost like we weren't designed to sit at a desk job all day, at least in most circumstances. And the thing about it is people really overestimate how much the gym will do stuff if you are not sitting, or if you are sitting the entire day. So somebody who works out 5 days a week, but they sit most of their other rest of the day, they're basically giving their brain a very tiny hit of exercise, which is great. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but if the rest of your day is sedentary, it's almost like smoking 1 cigarette a day. And that's probably not the best analogy. I can't think of a good analogy right now, but from my perspective, somebody who's doing more intermittent physical activity, just generally speaking, for the rest of the day is much more better for your health, because I think that's what we are designed naturally to do. We aren't designed to do some physical activity and just sit on our butt all day. We function the best when we're moving fairly consistently, and of course, structuring that with a healthy and balanced diet as well. Those who started alone, how did you know what to do at the gym? All right, so this is interesting. When this person really wants to go to the gym, they have no idea any of the equipment, have no idea where to begin. None of my friends go to the gym. you got to consult online resources. There's so many good resources on YouTube. Just type in the internet, free beginner workouts, YouTube, free beginner workouts, how to use gym machines, like all of those different types of things. There are so many resources that people have made at this point showing literally all of that plus more. It's amazing. It's incredibly easy. And it's just, it's really how most people get in. I feel like nowadays the difficulty it is to start working out and start getting into fitness is so low because all you are away is a YouTube or an internet search away from at least having a good idea on how to do a few machines. And one of the things that I always tell people to do too, if they're in a situation like you, is to go to the gym with no goal in mind except to observe. Okay? You don't need to stare at people working out. You don't need to do crazy stuff like that, but just going and observing what people are doing. And maybe you'll just kind of take one lap around the gym, go walk on the treadmill, take another small lap on the gym, and just look at what people are doing. Look at how people are moving this machine with their shoulders or their legs, and just take notes and then copy people's exercises. Seriously, go copy their things. And if you really have the fortitude to do it, I would go ask people who look like they know what they're doing. Literally go up and ask them. And the worst thing they could say is, no, I'm not really down to showing anything right now. I'm kind of focused on my own workout. But somebody like me who's been working out for over 10 years, I would love to show anyone just a basic thing or showing them the exercise that I do and getting them and a way for them to do something like that, for sure. All right, treadmill versus jogging. I can run for 10 minutes straight on the treadmill, but I can't jog for more than 2 minutes when I'm just running on the track or something. Why is this? Oh, boy. I would guess that they are trying to run too fast when they're jogging. So when they're doing 10 minutes straight on the treadmill, they are doing a pace that the treadmill is set. And when they jog, they go way too fast, they go way too hot out of the gate, and they can't sustain that pace. And because of that, they can only last 2 minutes. This is what I think. I think their technique would likely be the same, no matter if they're on a treadmill or on the track. There is one other thing, though. Oh, they said running on a track. So a track is flat, but if they're running outside with hills are going to make it incredibly difficult and can make 2 minutes of running feel like 10 minutes of running if you just started. But I'm guessing they're just not good at pacing. They're just not good at pacing, and that's really the name of the game here. They don't know how to pace well. They don't know how to go into a run saying, I'm just going to go half speed, and I'm going to do this for a long time instead of just saying, boom, right out the gate. And a treadmill, since it is a little scary, since you're kind of like up on a platform and it's kind of a little iffy if you go really fast, it's hard to go too fast on it because it just feels dangerous if you go too fast. I don't know if you've ever been on a treadmill and just hit up the machine a bunch. It's tricky because I get to a point, or I've done it before, where I've started running so fast I'm like, there's no way this ends up good. Like, I'm gonna get injured or hurt or something. Person prefers to use machines instead of free weights. I don't have very good form with using weights at the gym, but with the machines I feel like I can actually move a lot of weight without worrying about hurting myself. So honestly, if this is the case for you, if using machines instead of free weights lowers the barriers for you to working out, 100% use machines instead of free weights. I will say, though, there is a lot of good use for learning how to do free weights simply by watching videos, getting a personal trainer, anything like that, because a lot of the free weight movements are similar to stuff that we do in our daily lives, like squatting, like deadlifting or picking something off the ground, like doing a push-up off the ground. These are all movements that we do numerous times, or at least can have the opportunity to do numerous times through the day. Something like lunging. We do lunging all day, where we lean and get onto the ground with one foot, lunging down like that. So they're very helpful and useful to build movement patterns that we do in daily life. Also, machines keep you in a rigid, fixed plane of motion, and life is not always rigid and fixed in a plane. There's going to be times where you're doing a movement in daily life and your body gets turned out of whack or moves slightly. So a lot of the stabilizing muscles aren't getting worked by doing machines. So you may get a little more stiff. You may not be able to move in positions quite as well because you're literally training just the muscles and not really the full joint, specifically to be handle all those tough stabilization tasks that you might have in a normal everyday life. So that's basically to consider it.